What's going on, everybody? I'm Josh with Combat Sports Today. I'm joined with Andrea Amaro, the new Fury FC strawweight champion. How's it going today on this Saturday?
Super good, punching people in the face bright and early in the morning today.
I mean, that sounds like a great way to kick off the Saturday.
It's a beautiful Saturday morning.
How's it feel to, get that championship? Because I believe you're the first person from the El Paso area to get a major MMA title, if I'm not mistaken. So how does that feel?
It feels amazing. Not for so much like myself, I just think more towards like the group of men I have and for the city and just the people I have around me. Everybody in the city has tried in their own way to get up to that stage and quite haven't like they haven't made it quite yet. And so this was just like a good notoriety of like we're doing good, we're doing things right, we're doing something great, and it just gives everybody like a good pat on the back.
I mean, that's awesome, to kind of be the shining light that, some people may need to, carry on to keep going to say, hey, I can do it too, to put that area on the map. There are a lot of places like Vegas and California that are kind of a hot spot, and Texas is now becoming kind of a more of a hot spot for MMA between, El Paso, Houston, San Antonio. We got a lot of good places here in Texas as well for MMA.
And it just feels like here, like I've cross trained in different places in the area. It just seems like we're more we're a little bit more catered to, like it's like more attention detail oriented. The coaches work more with you. It's more team oriented as opposed if you went to somewhere like you said, like Vegas. It's more like you're kind of on your own and you got to make it happen type of thing. And this is more like you got a team, we depend on each other, we show up for each other, and that type of vibe. So I really like take pride in those kinds of things, like having a team, people like rooting for each other and stuff like that, and versus just kind of doing your own thing.
Oh yeah, that can make a world of difference having, people behind you and supporting you. That can make a world of difference. And just kind of diving into that fight with Jessica Delboni. She was a former Invicta atomweight champion. Was there anything in that fight that kind of surprised you about her that, maybe you went to the decision? Were you surprised that you weren't able to get her out of there?
No, I've always been somebody, I think when restarted this journey before, like I decided that I was going to get too fixated on something. I feel like when you get too fixated on a plan or something, um, I feel like in from my perspective, things can go wrong. You can have a plan, but always just be ready to adjust. And it didn't really surprise me like how our fight went, just seeing her previous fights and how she likes to go about things. If I couldn't grapple really, I felt like I just felt it wasn't in the cards and I felt like I was just winning on the feet. And I just kept it there. Like there was no reason for it. And I just adjusted, and that's what I decided to do, I guess, after the first round.
Just kind of telling in off of that, would you like to see, like I said, you're the strawweight champion. We don't really see the atom weight much in most organizations, kind of like Invicta kind of has it, and some of the overseas promotions do. Is that kind of a weight class you would like to see more adopted here in the States for a more opportunities for WMMA? Because a lot of women, it seems, kind of to get to the UFC, they kind of seem to be atomweight, but have to move up to 115 to get to the big stage.
That was kind of where I was when I started. I actually started at the atom weight division, and I had to decide quick what I was going to do, and I decided just to continue to be a strawweight. But I do think there's just a need for that division. There's so much talent, and it's really unfortunate to see a lot of women who have such good talent and who are like super good, but they're just too small for the class. And so I really hope that in the near future the UFC or more promotions really promote the 105 weight class.
Like I said, I noticed it, like Invicta does it, and outside of the States, they have the atom weight, but just kind of here in the States, it's kind of non-existent, really. I mean, you may get a couple fights, but like you said, you had to make that decision to move up because there's nothing there. So hopefully that will start coming in. I mean, the UFC did try the 145, I think. Was it one? Yeah,
Yeah,
145. So hopefully they'll try the 105.
I
Try it
hope
out at
so.
least.
There's a roster of girls. I'm sure like it would be easy to fill up. And I know a few women who would just be like great top contenders just for them to start and build it around. Like, um, it should be easy for them. I think they would have more success than they did with the 145 class.
Kind of diving into your prior MMA and sports things to get people kind of more familiar with you. You're on a 6 fight win streak. I believe there's 2 KOs and one submission in there. Just talk to us about that journey from going from Combate to you had a fight in Invicta to fighting in Fury. How did all that kind of transpire?
Um, well, I mean the Combate one was just an opportunity my manager gave me. He just thought it was a great way for me to like come back. I did lose my first fight there to Melissa and Maya, but I was still in a not with my team that I have today. So, but after that, I got back up on my feet and fighting for Combate was super cool, eye opening. I really loved the way they treated me there. And then my contract just got canceled or it was expired. I don't know what happened, to be quite honest with you. And I got the opportunity with Invicta, and I got to fight against Hillary Rose, who's also a veteran in the sport. And it was. I think Invicta is probably one of the top promotions that anybody or any woman should want to fight for. And Shannon just takes great care of us women. I have to say, it was one of the greatest experiences I had. It was fighting for them, and then I got the opportunity to fight for Fury, and Eric has been awesome to me. Houston has been awesome to me. The girls around the area have been awesome to me. Um, so it's kind of beautiful, like to have a community come together and support you. So I don't know. It's just, I think it's my experience and my journey has more been about the people that I've had and met through it. And that's really made it like just great just to continue on and motivation.
Because that's kind of some of the bigger organizations outside of the UFC. The Combate, your Invicta, your Fury. You're kind of hitting all the all the people outside of the UFC to get to the US to get to the UFC. So hopefully that has to be coming up on the. You have to be on their radar, I'm sure.
I
And
yeah, I hope so. It's just I'm just trying to do whatever I need to do. If they tell me I need to do something else, I'm willing to do it. I'm just hoping they just give me some type of opportunity to show them that I am of that caliber that they're looking for.
what is your preferred next fight? Would it be defending that title to get a title defense under the belt, a short notice call up to the UFC, or a full camp to fully prepare yourself for the UFC? Because some people don't really like the short notice, really.
I'm always training, like literally, like right after I came back, the day after I was back on the mats. So being ready is not really like a problem. I would prefer maybe a short notice just to show them that I really meant it when I said I'm ready for this opportunity. And if you give it to me, like I'm in. So if that means a short notice fight and showcasing what I have and showing who I am as a fighter on a short notice fight, so be it. I'm 100% in on that.
How many fights would you like to ideally get in 2025 for the rest of the year?
I'm hoping to get another two, but I mean, I guess we'll see. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I was supposed to fight back in March. It wasn't supposed to be the end of April. And so I just ended up fighting at the end of April. I don't, like I said, it just all depends on management, fights and all that stuff. I don't deal with that stuff, but um, they give me something, it's a yes. They just send me something or someone, and I'm okay with it. I don't care who, what, when, where, why, nothing. Just give me the call. Like I'm ready, at my age at 30, it's just kind of like one of those things like either you make it happen or you don't.
And I see you got your black belt in 2024 last year, the first female in El Paso, another accolade of being one of the first in the area. So another hats off to you on that. Just to kind of stay active, if you couldn't get another fight, would you take like a grappling super fight to headline like maybe a Submission Hunter Pro card or like maybe a combat jiu-jitsu type of thing just to keep that activity and momentum going? Is that something you're open to?
Yeah, actually, before my fights, I usually take tournaments or just to keep myself active and just kind of put myself against, you know, uh, top competition. I really think jujitsu is a different realm, and so I like going in there and just really, testing myself and just getting better. So I did an IBJJF in Albuquerque before I did this fight, and I'm scheduled to do ADCC Dallas on the 14th, and then maybe do a super match. I don't know. I'm just kind of whatever comes up or whatever's offered right now, I guess I'm taking. You know, I I don't put too much emphasis or too much pressure on myself on the grappling part. I just like to do it because it's fun.
Been a like I said, you're a black belt and you've been in the grappling scene a while. What are your kind of thoughts on Craig Jones and he's kind of doing with the pit submission series and kind of stuff like that? What are your thoughts on him trying to highlight the sport and doing these fun things with karate combat? The pit, like I said, the pit submission series of grappling inside the pit, using the pit walls and stuff.
I think what he's doing is phenomenal because grappling, I think people are still like really in the dark about what jujitsu is. When you mention someone like jujitsu, they're like, jujitsu, what's that? And you have to explain to them from the aspect of, oh, hey, well, do you watch the UFC? Like, kind of like, the grappling stuff. And you're like, oh, wrestling. And it's like, yeah, but it's not. So it's like people still don't quite grasp what jujitsu is. And it's kind of hard to watch sometimes. And I really think it's just phenomenal that he's just finding ways for it to be exciting and for people that are not jujitsu people or don't know anything about the sport for to get them excited about it to watch it. So I really think from that aspect, that does great things for the sport and it's just awesome to see.
A few more things that's kind of outside of fighting ish. What's your favorite thing to do to unwind and recenter yourself from the fight game?
Man, that's tough. I was a runner, so I love to run. It's always been a part of me since I was 12 years old. And so I ran every day up until I was 25. There was not a day that went by that I didn't run. So um, I still run a lot, but not as much as I used to. But I use that to ground myself. It's really therapeutic. I think just being active for me and just has really grounded me.
And I've seen and I heard that you're a master's degree in clinical psychology. How is
Yes.
that going, and how did you get into that as a career path or something to study?
It's funny because um with little turns, obstacles and all of that, I knew that I wanted to be a counselor since I was a little girl, which is crazy. So despite like little paths and different paths that I've gone through or obstacles, like I ended up still doing what I wanted to do when I was a little girl. And I really more got into it because I struggled myself, just going through, a lot of home stuff. I was a homeless teen. Me and my dad had a really strained relationship when he was alive, up until the last few years of his life. Um, I just guess I wanted to understand just because I was going through it myself. And and my mom's actually a therapist too. So it's just kind of went hand in hand. I just decided to do it. And so now I'm more than halfway done. I think I have a year left. I have a year
Awesome.
left.
Yeah, that's some dedication, pursuing that plus the fight game and all that. So, man, that super dedication. I mean, and do you feel like pursuing like the psychology type of thing kind of helps you in like kind of the fight game of kind of going through some of maybe the speed bumps that happen in MMA careers and even preparing for a fight to not like, I guess the some people hire like sports psychologists. Does that kind of think help kind of give you an edge to on the mental aspect of the fight game?
It's super hard for me to say that it's helped me. To be quite honest with you, not really, because you it's like you can give great advice to somebody and you're like thinking, why don't I take my own advice? But it's because it's super hard to do like therapy on yourself. Actually, what changed my life was a life coach that really like challenged me and made me do a lot of journaling and reflecting, and it had it made me be honest with myself. So I think psychology just made me more in tune with myself, but I think I needed somebody else to come and challenge me and make me reflect on myself and say, hey, I'm not doing something right here. And hey, like, I need to change this about myself, because if I continue like this, I'm just going to keep getting the same results. And so, yeah, it's helped me in that fight game in this aspect of how to grow and move forward. And, even like through tough times, we don't stop, life doesn't stop, so it's helped me from that aspect to continue to go and to grow within this sport and just personally.
If you were able to train or spar with any fictional character, who would you pick?
Naruto. It's my favorite anime character ever.
Naruto himself, you wouldn't, choose like Sasuke, maybe Might Guy, or one of those guys.
You know,
Naruto himself.
my guy, maybe just like because of just how, man, that guy's funny too. But I just think Naruto, just because it's just like I relate to him so much, just as a person and personality wise. And it's just like he never gives up. So it's just like, how can you not like that? That would be my favorite person, my favorite fictional anime person to spar.
Oh, yeah, I had to ask. I seen, I think your last fight shirt, I think, was Naruto inspired, and I think you got a couple Naruto tattoos, I do believe. So
I
I had to
do.
ask. I was thinking it was probably going to be in the Naruto universe, but you never know. Maybe like to train with Goku. I think that's a top one.
That is a pretty good one too. I that's funny, I had to rewatch the whole series from beginning to end. And so that's quite interesting that you say that too. Like that would be someone too. Like that would be cool, right?
Yeah, yeah. I got to. I still got to introduce my wife to the Naruto and Dragon Ball universe. I don't know if I'm ready to dive down into that, 'cause that's a lot of watching because she's not watched any, so she's like starting from very beginning on both.
It took
Yeah,
me 3 months to finish the whole thing, and that was like an all day thing.
yeah. It's an undertaking. Like the last thing that I got for you is what's a food or beverage that you miss the absolute most during your weight cuts?
Mm, Dr. Pepper and food. McDonald's. I don't know why I was thinking about McDonald's so much this last cut. Specifically the fries, okay? Like no one come at me, but I love McDonald's. I It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
I mean, especially the fries. You can't get fries anywhere that tastes like McDonald's. Nowhere like home. No other restaurant even comes close. Like
I
it's
don't even care. Like that's number one. Number one like fry is McDonald's.
I'm right there with you. Like that is like one of the optimum fries in the fast food game or the food game, honestly, in general, is the McDonald's fry. And I'm a huge Dr. Pepper fan. I have to have one Dr. Pepper a day at least. My wife is
Yeah,
always
just
on me about that. She's like, "You need to cut that out." And I'm like, "I need caffeine." She's like, I was like, "It's Dr. Pepper. Gotta have it. Sorry."
it makes your soul happy.
Exactly. It makes the soul. That's what I'm gonna tell her. I'm like, it makes my soul happy. You can't tell me to stop that anymore.
No, sorry, I won't do it.
And just kind of to wrap things up, do you have any families, sponsors, training partners you want to give a huge shout out to?
Yes, I couldn't do it without, everything that I'm doing. I can't do it without my team of teammates and guys that I have around me. I cross train at 4 different gyms around here, so I really just want to shout out City Wolves and Matador, Elite Kickboxing Academy, 10th Planet El Paso, Zen Martial Arts, and my new addition, Escopeta Muay Thai. So I'm super grateful to all those men. They really, you know, have sacrificed a lot for me and put a lot of time into me. So I'm super grateful for them to continuing to work with me and, just to make, strides in this community.
Awesome. And again, appreciate your time. I know you're a very busy person. You got that new championship belt lug around and do a bunch of interviews and things with and training. So I won't take up too much of your time. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday and hope your husband's ACL surgery goes well on Monday, I do believe. Trying to remember things.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it.